Salvete discipuli. In today's lesson, we will continue the gripping account of how Caesar continues to press his attempted invasion of Britannia. Okay, we resume the exciting account. I will read the sentence and then we will study it in detail. Quibus rebus nostri perteriti atque huius omnino generis pugnae imperiti non eadem alacrite ac studio quo in pedestribus uti proeliis consuerant ute bantur. Okay, believe it or not, that actually is a complete grammatical sentence. It's not a run-on sentence. Let's dig in. Okay, so the subject is nostri perteriti. Okay, so these are our nominative plural subjects. Ours, understood our soldiers, terrified. What did they do? What were they terrified by? Quibus rebus, by these things. Okay, now, quibus is, of course, the relative pronoun. It's referring to the things referred to earlier. You know, the fact that those Britons are on the shore, they're on their horses, they're throwing spears at them. So, by which things, literally, ours terrified. Okay, but we normalize it to ours, terrified by these things. Atque, okay, imperiti is another nominative plural going with nostri and perteriti. Okay, so ours are omnino, altogether. We had this word earlier. Remember, there were altogether, omnino, two ways by which to go. Okay, so ours, terrified by these things, altogether unexpert, huius generis pugnae. Okay, now I'm translating it unexpert in this kind of a fight, but these are genitives, okay? Huius generis pugnae, literally of this kind of a fight, okay? Huius of this, generis of a kind, pugnae of a fight, okay? So they are unexpert in this kind of a fight, meaning none of them have ever done a naval landing before. Okay, this is like new to everybody. How do you do it? Non ute bantur. Now notice I'm taking the non here and I'm running all the way to the rest of the sentence there for the verb. They were not using. Okay, so we've established in this first part important information about our soldiers. Okay, our soldiers, they are terrified by these things. They're altogether unexpert in this kind of fight. And because of that, non ute bantur. They were not using. Okay, what were they not using? They were not using eadem alacritate. They were not using the same speed. Now, eadem alacritate is ablative, okay? The verb ute bantur very peculiarly takes an ablative object, okay? So that's something you're going to get asked on your Socrative. You know, what is eadem alacrite? It is ablative. The reason it's ablative, again, ute bantur, takes an ablative object. They were not using the same speed, ac studio, okay? Also ablative. And eagerness. They were not using the same speed and eagerness, quo, with which. Okay, again, ablative of the relative pronoun. They were not using the same speed and eagerness with which consuerant. They were accustomed. Okay. They were accustomed. Now, this is going to anticipate an infinitive, accustomed to do something, okay, with which they were accustomed uti, to use, okay? So this is the infinitive of this same verb, okay? So they were not using the same speed and eagerness that they were accustomed to use in what? In proeliis, in battles, okay, in pedestribus, okay, on dry ground. Now, pedestribus literally means like on foot, okay, so pes pedem is the noun that means foot, okay, so on footpaths, okay, so on dry ground, okay. So again, this sentence is fairly straightforward. We have this initial part establishes that ours, they were terrified, they were unexpert in this kind of things. What they were doing, what they were not doing is they were not using the same speed and eagerness with which they were accustomed to use in battles on dry ground. Okay, so this is the only sentence we're going to study in this tutorial today. We're going to also study the future participle in preparation for the National Latin exam. Here's the reason that today we're not going to go on with another sentence, because good Lord, look at that next sentence, okay? Obviously that next sentence is going to be a lesson all on its own.